Bam. There we go. What's up? Hey, so I'm kind of late, but it's because I was tweeting it out. I still haven't printed the fan duct, but I didn't realize the kit that I ordered was two fans. So there's two. So we'll see what we can find for a duct that will work with these 4020. I believe these were 4020s. So we'll have to see what we can find that'll work with the 4020s, because maybe we can mount. We can do one on each side, you know, or just do one and have one for a future project. Vince, good to see you, sir. I hope you're doing well. I'm not sure how loud the mic is. It looks like it's kind of quiet. So let me make sure this is maxed out, and let me also make sure that on the computer, for some reason, the microphone didn't get turned down again. It seems to be the case. No, microphone is cranked all the way up. All right. Well, does it seem quiet to you guys? Stephen Poole, how you doing? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Um, yeah, if the microphone seems quiet, let me know and I'll work on cranking it up. I know if I talk down more, it works louder, but you know, I want to make sure in like general chatting that it's loud enough that you guys don't have to crank your volumes real high. You can hear well. All right. Well, I'm glad you can hear well, but can you hear well enough? So anyway, I gotta find a fan shroud for the CR10S Pro for the 4020 fan that I ordered. So let's go to Yegi real quick. Yes, Yegi, because I don't have any sponsors right now for anything else. So Yegi it is. However, if any of the other companies want to sponsor me, I'm more than happy to use your product more regularly for a small fee, of course. I did hear back from Polymaker as a definite yes, we can help you. I just have to get the details to them. So that is awesome. And there might be an extra bonus. We'll see. Got to work out those details. So Sean did get back to me today. However, holidays and things like that, you know. Great to see you on stream again. Zachary, good to see you, sir. I hope the Zany Creations, I hope Zany is doing well. But yeah, guys, I was going to stream yesterday after all, but after I told everybody I wasn't going to stream until Friday, I didn't want to put myself in a situation where I streamed a day early after I told everybody I wasn't going to. And plus, with it being a holiday, I figured a lot of the stateside folk who watch would probably be out doing things with family. I didn't want to necessarily impede on that. So here we are. Depending on how things go, we may stream again Saturday or Sunday. Those will be to be announced. So you'll have to kind of watch the socials and whatnot. We'll see if I can squeeze in another stream Saturday or Sunday. So whatever we get done today, whatever we can get done today, no extra feedback or interference. Nice. But depending on what we can get done today will depend on what we work on Saturday or Sunday or whatever. I might throw Sunday in there just for giggles, but I do need to look up the CR10S Pro V2 fan duct. There we go. Somebody else has searched this. Let's separate fan and duct. They have it together as one. Looking for kind of just a straight stock one there, guys. I'm not looking for nothing super crazy. I kind of want to keep it stock. I had a thought in mind for where I could give this printer. We'll see. CR10 Pro fan duct dual outlet print in place. This looks pretty promising. Let me copy this. I'll paste it into chat here. You guys do me the solid if you can. If you're on a computer and have the ability to click the link, please click the link and tell me, what do you think? Do you think that'll be a cool duct to throw on here? It's got a little protective part on the side too, and it actually looks like it'll blow front and rear on the print. So I think that could be a good print, but I would like the thoughts of the crowd. If I had a maker chip or not, but believe I figured out how to do it. can make me a batch. If you have a printer that's able to make me a batch, feel free, but K2 Kevin himself, the man, the myth, the legend, designed and printed me some of these. He said he was going to print me more, but he has not gotten around to that. But I think it turned out pretty sweet. The only thing I do need to change is that goes to my Twitch channel, and I don't really stream to Twitch anymore, so I need to update the QR code for the YouTube channel. So it'd be better if it just went to my link tree, to be honest with you, because then my link tree would have all my stuff on it, and it's just linktr.ee/MakerMineNexus is my link tree. If you don't believe me, let me show you. Ready? linktr.ee/MakerMineNexus. See, like if you click on this, oh, I didn't put the HTTP in there, so of course it's not going to want to go. I got to put the HTTP in there. But if you copy that and then paste it into your browser, see, it takes you to my MakerMineNexus one. See, look, look at that. You've got the Join the Makers Hideout Discord server. You've got the YouTube channel, my X account, Facebook. There's the TikTok, my Amazon wish list, which as we do these projects, guys, try and remind me that if I want to add things to my wish list, please remind me to get them added to my wish list. So give me just a second, though. Got to wait for this to end so that I can ask the Mrs. Nicely to make a phone call for me. Because I am streaming and there's potentially something going on, so, you know. Give me a second here. Come on, unlock. All right, click here. Anyway, sorry guys. Hey, Ron, what's going on, brother? Good to see you again, JPP. Good to see you. And Zachary, I already said hello to you. And Vince, I think I said hello to you, but if not, hello, Vince. But yeah, sorry guys, I had to, you know, my typical, you know, my daughter is spending the weekend with the other parent, so of course you know, I try to get in the middle of doing something and life gets in the way. So anyway, people seem to forget that I do have a life outside of what they got going on, and I'm trying to do this. So here we go. Sent you some pictures in the DM to Zach, by the way. Okay. And your second X1 carbon should be in next week, or in the next week. Nice. That is awesome, good sir. I definitely would not mind an X1 carbon someday, but right now it's not in the cards. So, and as much as I am anti-waste when it comes to the amount of waste, I do understand. You know, I understand it. I understand the ease of use there. So it is a trade-off. Ease of use for color swaps versus the amount of waste. It is a trade-off. I don't have the or even if I had a light version, you know, the AMS light for that guy would be nice. If anybody's feeling generous, contact me. I'll tell you where to send one if you want to purchase one and send it to me. I won't complain, and I will be greatly appreciative. I will even name the AMS light after you, so you will reside in my office with me. So no, JPP, I am not. When it comes to that one, I want to get this done and get it going so that we can bring up the next one, because that guy right there is going to require a lot when it comes to getting the parts replaced on it and getting it printing. So that's going to be a little while, and so we're going to work on that, plus the Ender 3 down there that I have to get done for you for your channel. So I have enough going right now, getting clipper and playing with the sonic pad on that is not really a thought. I want to get this one done, get it working, get it printing, and we'll even do a stream. So the next stream after this will be finishing up whatever we don't get done today. So I'm going to start the fan duct. If you guys think that, I like that fan duct, so I think I'm going to download that one and print that. So we'll get that started up here in ASA. So we'll do some black ASA off of that. And then let me get the files or the file downloaded here. Sounds like my wife is going to pick up my daughter, so it doesn't sound like things went well there. She was only there for like 45 minutes. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, recycle the poop with the from the AMS. That's, yeah, Zachary, that was one of the thoughts, was making one of the filament recyclers, doing that on a stream as well, and then getting that kind of honed in, dialed in. You'll hook me up with some maker chips? All right. Thank you, good sir. Greatly appreciated. I will not complain. If you would like to do that, I will definitely be down for that. My computer is currently freezing up, so give me a second here. There we go. Get this downloaded. Go up one. Extract the files right to the desktop. There we go. Close that. We can close all of that now. Let's get the Orca slicer loaded up. Scoot that over here so you guys can kind of see it right there. Whenever you guys are wondering what I'm looking at on the second screen here, you can see it in the back on this screen back here. So you guys can see that I am in Orca Slicer now. And we're going to move this guy over and into place. I got to reprint that part, but for right now, let's get the fan duct loaded up. Desktop. CR10 fan duct. Print in place. That's it. File. Grab the file. There we go. I kind of want to zoom in and see this thing a little bit closer now that I have it in the slicer. I don't know if I'm the only one who ever does that, but there we go. Looks good. Here, let's do this. There we go. So looks like a pretty sweet duct. Even has a little cover that kind of helps to protect against shoving fingers in that big ass fan blade. And it actually looks like what I would need to do is take off this outer cover, and then it slides in and down. So we'll have to probably pop the two little tabs here on the fan. There's a tab here and a tab here. We'll pop those and then slide it all together and then screw it all into place. So it's pretty cool. You would love to see what you make for your recycling. You use silicone molds to, oh, okay. Do the silicone molds. Nice. It's always fun to do that. Files from K2 made. I will reach out to K2, Zachary. I'll reach out to him and see if I can get him to send me the file that he made. And then that way he can just send it to me, and then I can forward it to you. And then maybe one day when I get an AMS light, maybe someday when I can either afford it. If you guys buy some merch, I don't have my merch on today. Damn it, I'm not wearing my shirt today. But if you guys go to the shop.makermynexus.com and buy a bunch of merch, that'll help. And plus you get something for it. You know, you get like shirt, coffee mug, you know. I don't even have all the merch I have up there yet. So I don't even own all the stuff that I put out. I just have the t-shirt. But yeah, so let's get this thing printing. So let's slice this up. Let me make sure that ooh, there's a lot of support in there. I'd rather have the support though, and I guess probably don't need all that because there is a lot. We need to fix support so it only prints on the build plate anyway. I don't like support printing inside, so we can go back here. Let's go to support. Let's just turn off support real quick. And let's hit reslice. I think we'll run it without supports just because the overhangs and everything should be good. But there we go. Let's make sure strength-wise, we're doing 5, 5, and 5 with 50% honeycomb infill. That should be good. 1 hour and 3 minutes. So it should be done before the end of the stream. So hopefully we'll be able to get that on the printer. Maybe not necessarily pushing plastic per se, but hopefully we can get that on the printer. So that'll be nice. Let me see. If not, you'll model it for. Yeah, I mean, dude, my logos, I can get you that, not a problem. I can definitely do the high def JPEG or PNG. I've got a folder that has all the MakerMind stuff in there. I can share it with you later to print it face down. Uh, well, if I print it face down, Aaron, the problem I'm going to run into, let me kind of come back here to the right screen. If I print it face down, then this right here is all going to need, is going to be part of an overhang. It does print flat base this way and then print kind of up. So I would say, because then you're going to have this giant spot here where the fan goes down in, that would be kind of open. So I'm going to print it this way. This is the way it's orientated. So I'm going to print it this way. We'll see how good or bad it does and kind of go from there. So let's go over to the Hulk. For those who've missed out, there's the theme for the Hulk. So let's minimize these guys here. And then when I scroll up, you can see pretty sweet looking Hulk theme, I think. Radio TBO, what is up? Hope you're doing well, man. I'm good. How are you? So just kind of showing the theme real quick for the Hulk back there behind me. You know, showing how I themed it out. Since it's only for myself and I'm not trying to profit from it, hopefully I don't get smacked with some kind of a, you know, strike from somebody down the road. Yeah, I'll do some more content and stuff on how to how I cheat at theming out my mainsail my mainsail printers. I'm sure at some point we'll be doing a mainsail. And one of these rehabs will do a mainsail and we'll create a theme for it. So that'll be in one of them. And I'm going to try and do a better job of in the notes putting what I'm doing. So like after the stream is over with, going back and updating the descriptions on these streams so that people will know what printer I was working on and what we completed during that live stream. So people can kind of go back later. And I'm hoping to start doing playlists of each printer as I go. So going down the line over time, if there's changes or things that we do to printers, or if somebody wants to follow along with a specific printer, they'll be able to do that. Where did I get the Hulk pictures from? Radio. I just Googled the Hulk and then found like high res. I just did a search for like Hulk background, like desktop wallpapers and stuff, because in this case, 1920 by, or yeah, the 1920 by 1080. That's where I wanted to start with. It's easier to resize a photo down than it is to try and bring it back up. We all know that. You're building a Voron 2.4, and of course with a custom SBF. Oh yes, of course with the custom beefy idlers. Yes, I do love the beefy idlers, dude. And at some point when I can build a printer that will use those, I will definitely be printing your beefy idlers and throwing them on there. Don't you worry. I have ambitions for other projects other than just doing the printer rehabs. I want to keep the printer rehabs to Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if I start doing different printer builds and stuff along the way, like if I can get my hands on some project printers to build for myself to kind of build out the office here, we'll do those on different days. I don't want to do a bunch of the same build over and over and over again, but I would love to have another 2.4 Trident. I have the Rook. I have another Rook I need to get built. They're the Rook 2020s. They're not just a Rook. So I would love to build a 2.4 and a Trident. I just don't have those in the budget. If the channel, the merch sales, and like the super chats and memberships and stuff pick up, then hopefully that income coming in will be able to help me, buy the extra stuff and get some other printers in-house. If all goes well with the printer rehabs, maybe some companies will want to start sending me out some stuff for us to check out and for you guys to see. I know right now, like I said, I've got to reach out to Micro Swiss and follow up with them so I can get parts in-house. I haven't done that yet, and I need to, so I will, after the stream today, I will email the Micro Swiss gang and say, hey guys, what's going on? Just wanted to follow up about the B stock, scratch and dent. You guys able to get me some of that stuff sent out? Kind of go from there. And then you're actually building a Mark II. Nice. Yeah, the Rook Mark One, Mark Two, it's pretty awesome. The Mark Two is sweet because it opens up that front end and puts all the belt path behind the printer, so that's pretty sweet. This other Rook that I built, I'm probably going to print the Mark II parts as well, and I'll probably end up converting it to a Mark II instead. You revamped the parts so they didn't look so blocky. Yeah, I know, Aaron, you definitely have the ability to do some pretty crazy stuff. I'm pretty sure at some point, if I hear the garage door open, I'm gonna probably have to step off for a second, guys. Just like give you guys the be right back screen. Just giving you guys a heads up. If I say hold on a second, you guys know what's up. Just hang in there. But like I said, it never fails. I'm in the middle of streaming, and of course the world ends the minute I want to do this. As you guys can see, though, the printer is heating up. Hopefully it gets up to temp. I have had some issues with this switch wire. For some reason, the bed doesn't like to heat the first go round. It tends to air out, and then I have to start it again after it's already been heated for a little bit. So I should really remember to start heat soaking the bed before I start printing. I'll have to look into that printer a little more later, but right now we'll let it kind of do its thing. And while it's doing its thing, I'm gonna move this over here for a minute. So let's do this, and let's switch to this guy here. Let's switch to, let's see. Yeah, bench cam's out. There we go. And then that also has this camera here, so you guys can see me over here. But what we got currently is, until this is done, I can't really do too much, but we can at least cut the wires. Yep, here comes the missus, guys. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. Let me mute my mic and give you the screen for a minute. my mic? Where the hell did I just throw it? There we go. All right, guys. Sorry about that. As you haven't noticed, my voice is now gone. I have a small daughter who didn't want to listen to her mom and is now back home. So Dad had to go and explain to her that her actions have repercussions and acting silly is not the smartest thing to do. So, and because, you know, Dad had to talk loud, Dad strained his voice. So sorry, guys. You're going to listen to me sound a little raspy. Get me a drink real quick here and hopefully make that sound better. There we go. All right. Back to over here. I have one too. Radio. Or Lee Marie's or mine. Doesn't matter. You can find me in both. There's mine when it pops up. There you go. It's the Baker's Hideout Discord. It's not actually mine. It's my buddy Zach's. But there you go. Tanner 3D, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. So, anyway, while we're waiting, I'm going to get these wires cut and get an end on here. My voice is a little shot for those who are just popping in. Apologize. I have a 12-year-old daughter that was having an attitude, so Daddy had to go yell at her. And sadly, his voice is now strained from it. So please bear with me. Let's see. We can go a little higher than that, but I'd rather have a little slack than not enough. So let's pop those real quick. There we go. And where are all of my things? All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see. Okay. I'm out of the 2s. We may have to throw a 3 on there just for giggles, because I'm out of the 2s, so I'm going to have to order some. We'll throw a 3 on it. It's fine. It'll still work. It's just a little bit larger, that's all. So, would be on the Discord channel. So, yeah. Yeah, Radio, you can just get on regular Discord and find him by his name. But here, guys, I'm out of the 2s, so we're going to use the 3, which is fine. Just have a blank. We'll have a blank in there. We'll put one on the outside of each. Does anybody remember, or can somebody check on Creality's site for me and let me know, is yellow or blue positive? Which one is the positive? Which one is the negative? Yellow or blue? Because I don't recall, and I can look it up real quick, but that'll take me away from trying to get started on getting this thing done. Let's see. We're going to put that side on there. This side will go on the fan. So this side we need the pins for. I just need to know so when I hook up the fan, I'll know. Is it yellow to red and black to blue? I think that's how it's supposed to go. Is yellow to red and black to blue. But just want to make sure before I put it on and then the fan's either spinning in the wrong direction. Aw, damn it. All my ferrules. The ferrule kit just popped open, so I got a bunch of ferrules now mixed up. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Stupid ferrules. Let's see. There we go. All right. If the fan is blowing into the microphone, let me know. I will turn off the AC. It's actually pretty warm out today, or pretty cool out today, so I don't necessarily need it. Let's see. Here we go. This part I can just pretty much do. Yellow is positive, blue is negative. Thanks, JPP. That's what I thought. I thought it was pretty much kind of the B to B, you know, black, blue to black. So I kind of figured it was yellow because yellow was, you know, it was the thought. So thank you very much, good sir. So yellow to red, blue to black. Got it. Let's get this. Okay. There we go. And then we will go, since that's how they're coming through, flip this guy over. We'll go blue in there, yellow in there. So there we go. We're going to skip that center pin. Now we'll grab one of the fans and we'll kind of trim this up. This guy is going to sit pretty much, I got to get my head out of the way, I know. Sit pretty much like this. So let's see here. Really, if there's enough here to put a little loop in it, it won't hurt nothing. Just a little extra weight on there. But we'll cut this right about there. There we go. Remember, keep them pigtails because you never know what you could use them for, like a end stop switch. Never know when you might have an end stop switch that you need to, you know, take care of. There we go. Give it a little nip, a nip and tug, a nip and tug. There we go. Loosen that up a little. All right. They said because yellow for yellow for electric. Yeah. You doing the duct in ASA? I'm going to do it in ASA because that's what's on the switch wire is that matte black ASA, and I want to make sure that it's going to be good around the hot end without any issues. So doing it in ASA. Okay. Let's get two of the female ends here. The rook rework you did? Dude, sweet. Give me a minute. I will pop on there and take a peek. Let me just kind of work on this real quick though. Okay. I don't know how well that camera's going to focus on this, but trying to do as much of it as I can up in front of the camera so you guys will be able to kind of see what the heck I got going on here. Okay. And there we go. Looks good. When will the stream end approximately? If all goes well, probably 7:30. Due to the fact that I had to step away, probably closer to 7:30. So if all goes well, 7:30 my time, which it's currently 5:45. So, or 5:44, 5:43. So, a little over an hour and a half. So, probably, you know, I take that back. Yeah, about 2 hours left, you know. Yeah, making mine next and making quick work of things. Trying to. Like I said, man, with the plans and hopes for the channel, it's going to be pretty much just kind of follow along with the rehabs, follow along with the printer builds, and see how things turn out. So my hopes are that
I can have enough printers on hand to keep me busy for the foreseeable. So get these two wires in there. There we go. There's those. Red goes to yellow and black goes to blue. So everything is lined up. While we have this now, let's go into settings. Nope, not in settings. Let's go back to temp, cooling. No, this is, oh, there we go, fan. There it is. Okay. The fan is spinning. There is movement out of there. Let me get a piece of paper here so you guys can you can see the fan is blowing the paper away now. You can kind of tell by, see, paper falls down, paper stands up. So there is definitely some movement coming out of this guy now. So that's good. Realistically, if I had the original duct, I could just mount this and be done. But we're printing the duct, which said a little over an hour to go. So, but now you can see I stopped it with my fingers. But there it goes. So fan is working. So let's turn the fan off. And there we go. Spun down. So there we go. Fan is rewired. What do we got here? It wouldn't let me tag in chat on my phone, so abbreviation was... Oh, that's all good, man. It's all good. I thought we also just flipped a coin as to what wire to hook up to what color. Yeah, no, Bob, I wanted to do it right the first time. I didn't want to play the, oh, I got it spinning backwards game. So when you get a second, could you show me the maker chip? Yeah, not a problem, good sir. Here, let me jump back here. There you go. Currently the green, white, and black with the black and whatnot around the outside. And then again, like I said, the QR, the only thing I want to do different is either have it point to my link tree or to the YouTube channel. So whatever, you know. Yeah, she definitely blows. So that's good. Now we just got to get the duct finished printing. Here. Go up here for right now. There we go. So just got to get that duct finished printing, and we need to rework the wires down here for the BL Touch. I wish, or I will. Let's see if we can probably cut a couple zip ties and see if we can pull some of that extra slack out of there. There is a little bit of slack still down here. So if I can pull that out, we can re-terminate the end of this guy. Maybe. I actually don't have one of these type of connectors. But looking at it, geesh. Yeah, I just don't have one of those. The other option would be I mean, the wires were a little severed, but they're not coming apart. So I think it was just the outer jacket got a little damaged. I could try to pull each one of the pins out and do a little heat shrink on each one. That way, you know, it's got a little something there to protect it. That could be the route we go. Let's power this thing down real quick though before we get too crazy into it. Disconnect this ribbon here that goes to the hot end. Everything is pulled apart now. Set that off to the side. Okay. I really wish I had a camera more on this side. And sadly, I don't have a very small amount of, or a very small heat shrink. Very tiny one that would fit over these little tiny wires. But none of the wires are actually damaged. Like the wire itself isn't damaged, just the jacketing, and that's what it was shorting out, and that's why this thing originally would not boot up, was because it was shorting out on the wire. So let's move this out of the way. Let's spin this guy this way now. And kind of move that up. This way you can see when I switch to this guy here. Nope, this guy here. There we go. You can kind of see what I got going on. That I separated each one of the wires as far out as I could go with them. Actually, guess I could go a little farther, but there we go. So the thought is, because the jacketing got kind of stretched on each one or opened up, it was shorting out. What I can do, let me see how small my smallest piece of heat shrink is, because I don't know if it's going to be small enough, if it'll shrink down enough to protect that. And I really wish I knew where the hell my torch went. It'd make it a whole lot easier to shrink that down once I had my torchy torch. Dielectric grease and some electrical tape. You know, as much of a thought as that would be, you know, but still. But yeah, no, Zachary, I will, after the stream, I will work on getting you the link to the logos. Do you publish the design, or have you published the design? Have I published the design for what? I'm sorry. Are we talking about for the maker coin? Because I didn't make the maker coin. That was made by K2 Kevin. I'm gonna see if I can get the files from him. Zachary is just asking because I think he wants to kind of experiment and make his own. So if he does, I'm gonna get him the files and then he can do that. PTFE tube for sleeve. I do not know about putting PTFE tube over that. I think we can get this to shrink down at least enough to kind of hold. You know, it's just finding a torch, because using the soldering iron takes forever. Or I'll have to see if I can dig out my heat gun, because I know I have a heat gun around here somewhere too. But I'm looking to see if I have a torch somewhere. That fan duct is printing so far. It's not looking terrible. So hopefully it'll finish up here. I'm doing 50% infill too, so it should be pretty rigid. You know, should be pretty rigid. I know I have a heat gun down here somewhere. Just where the heck did it go over the years of me not using it when I should have been, and I was using a torch instead, you know? Something. Oh. Oops. I turned on my controller. My Fly Sky. That I was going to use for a Death Racer someday. Let's see. Heat gun, no heat gun. Dang nabbits. What is this? Oh, I gotta get that. Okay. Well, we may have to do the soldering iron and just take our sweet old time, because I cannot seem to find. Ooh, heck yeah, booyah, another capture card. Sweet, forgot I had that sitting down there. It's amazing how much stuff you forget you have until you like actually go looking, you know. And then you're not looking for it, you find something else. Well, let's pull a pin. Let's try one and see how it does. So we'll get that guy heating up. We'll attempt to pull one of these pins out. I want to get them, I mean, could just wrap some electrical tape on it, but that truly is the super lazy way. Put a little heat shrink on it and make me feel a lot better, especially since I'm not exactly certain where this printer is going to be going. And I don't want it to be a potential headache for whoever it's going to. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. Here we go. See if we can get this one pin out of here. There we go. Pin came out. Can we get this piece of heat shrink over the whole thing? Yes, we can. Good. All right. Putting heat shrink on here, though, is going to create one giant headache when it comes to the later on. Like, heat shrink is not as flexible as the wire. I am actually rubbing the heat shrink against the fat part of the soldering iron. It is appearing to bite pretty good. Oh, you guys are overhead. I forgot. I was making sure I had you guys overhead before I continued on too far, but you guys are overhead. So you can kind of see what I got going on here. Oop, smacked back of my finger. Okay, let's get the sides here real quick. It does look like it is shrinking up enough, so that'll help. Yeah, it doesn't want to slide, so that's good. Just use the old fat part of the soldering iron there. Just keep rubbing it till it stops shrinking all together. This part's going to be pretty boring, guys. I'm not going to lie. Could have threw a little bit of dielectric grease in there and then, you know, ran that over it, but give it a minute. It does slide, but it's not going to slide far enough to expose the end. Pretty sure if I just we're kind of trying here. Worst case, we just cut the whole thing and repin it and put it back together, because we don't have another one of these, but I believe the pins I have should work with it if need be. But that doesn't want to move now, so it kind of heated up enough to stay in place, I think. Let's move nice and slow, but keep moving. More or less, like I said, since the wire itself didn't get damaged, it's just the outer jacket. I'm just doing this to keep it from, you know, flexing and breaking apart there. Maker World, what do we got here on Maker World? It didn't post. Now, Shane, let me take a look at this. What is it? It says, yeah, that's fine. No, I didn't want to go back to YouTube, you jerks. Click on this. go to the site. Oh, the maker chips. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's the maker chips, the actual maker chips. Just a protective covering. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing this for, is just to be a protective cover to keep the wires from potentially breaking, grounding, or shorting out on something else. So, but let's get this wire back in there now. Okay, let's pull the next one out. Okay. So we move on to the next one here. Let's grab another tiny piece of heat shrink out of our Harbor Freight special heat shrink box. If I had some of the liquid electrical tape, I would have just probably painted some of that on there and called it good, but I do not. So now we move all those out of the way. And then hit this one with the old soldering iron. Yeah. This is definitely not the recommended way of doing this. Get yourself a torch and actually, or a heat gun, and hit it with that. Would be the absolute right way to do it. But I'm working with what I got. So soldering iron I got. Soldering irons produce heat. As a matter of fact, this soldering iron is currently heated up to 300C, at least according to this Chinesium. It says 300C. It could be 400C for all I know. Chinesium, it's a very precious metal. It's a joke, everyone. It's a joke. Not that I think anybody here was offended. Need some fire, Shane. You are correct. I have a torch somewhere. I think it's in the house, to be honest with you. I think it was the last place I used it. I wish I had a torch. It would make the stream better, right? Fire makes everything better. At least it'd be more memorable anyway, right? By the way, Shane, thank you for this soldering iron that I'm using to shrink this heat shrink with. For those who don't know, many, many eons ago, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, Shane gifted me this soldering iron, and I've used it for many, many things other than just soldering stuff. So there we go. That piece doesn't want to move, so we'll punch that back in there now. I am noticing that these are a little bit different. So I have to, for the sake of ease, it's just push it in from the backside there. I know somebody's got a comment to make about that statement. I just wonder who will be the first one to make the comment. That'd be a cool thing to add to the chip, Zach. What'd Zach say? Yes, fire. Watch them burn. For others, base model, so can make friends beautiful chips. Holographic transfers from build plates. Yes, that would be sweet, brother. It would. I'm not asking you to go above and beyond. You do what you want to do, man. I will get you the logo. You can do what you need to do or want to do. I am perfectly good with, the bare minimum. K2 Kevin, when he did the original, it just the way the color scheme works out, the black, white, and green. Just turns out real nice. They just really go together well, the colors. Interestingly enough, it says the tube is good to 120C and I'm hitting it at 300C. Or at least according to the soldering iron, it's 300C. There we go. Oop, let's give that one a little bit more heat now. There we go. All right. We're down to 2 more to go, guys. 2 more to go. I'll probably see if I got a big enough piece to go over plug and all. And then just as a, you know, little extra. Because I don't want to try and take all these out and repin it and try and remember. So, you know. We'll see if we got one in there big enough to fit over the plug, and then we'll just do this part here in a larger piece of heat shrink if we can. Let's see. Oh, that's plenty big enough. Let's see if the one size down will work too. Probably not. Nope, that one won't work. But the larger one will, so we can at least put that over and shrink it down just a little bit as a little extra something. So there's that. I don't know how well you guys are seeing much, so I do apologize. Spool holder, you'd recommend to top off the side, but that's just your 2 cents. Ah, yes. The part of the iron is not at that temp, so it heat shield. It's probably closer to 100C. Yeah, Shane, you're right. Let me see here. I'm trying to see if I can get this to kind of come out a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. That works a little bit. Okay, tuck all those down. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm not very chatty. I'm trying to focus right here because I don't want to torch my fingers. And I know the minute I stop looking at this, I'm gonna torch my damn hand. And I have burnt, scraped, and scratched myself enough lately that I really don't want to torch my fingers. I just kind of bump my fingers a few times and it's real quick. So it's not really burning, but I really don't want to suffer the wrath for trying to do a good thing. You know, because ultimately in the end, I'm just going to give this thing away. I'm not keeping this printer. We're going to get it up, fired up, printing. We'll create some decent profiles for it in Orca Slicer. And then whoever gets this, they can have the Orca Slicer profiles. I'll put them up on the GitHub. That way they can get to them from wherever. And if down the road they ever change something or do something, they can at least have the base profiles. Or if they pay it forward and gift the printer on to someone else down the road, at least that person will be able to access the profiles that we create, because I'll do the calibration tests and everything. This one is just not shrinking enough, so let's hit it with a little bit more. Let's hit it with the tip. Just the tip, yep. Hit it with just the tip. That's what I was doing, but kind of giving it the tip. God, this sucks being over this this soldering iron like this with the AC off. Oh. Okay, well that one is a bit on the loose side, but again, it's not exposing the damage part. So the damage part is still hidden underneath it. We'll come back to that. Let me grab another piece here. Let's get this last one. So yeah, we'll it's protected. That's the important part. It's shrunk down, it's protected, and as soon as I lock this in, it can't necessarily get past it. So there we go. There's that. And get this last wire out of here. And like I said, watching these streams, if you think I'm an idiot and I can do this and you don't think you can do this, then there's something wrong. Because if I can do this, you can do this. This wire, the red wire, is actually the least damaged of the bunch. It doesn't even go all the way through the jacket on this one. So this red wire really doesn't need this because it just nicked it. It didn't actually go through. But if I'm doing one, I'm doing them all. That way they're all at least somewhat protected. And like I said, I'm going to take a larger piece of the heat shrink here in a minute and put it across everything once I snap it all back together. So it'll be a double layer of protection over these. And again, JPP got this printer. For those who don't know, Just Push Print donated this printer to the rehab. It's kind of why I started with this one first, because this was one that was donated for the actual rehab. I wanted to start with one that was actually going to be a part of the rehab project. I do have a couple I'm going to rebuild for JPP on some streams. We've got the Mercury 1 and an Ender 3. And it's an OG Ender 3 too. This is like the OG 2040, not the 4040 extrusion for the Y. So this is an OG, and it is going to get rebuilt for them to use on their channel as a giveaway printer. Let's see if that's way too big, which I'm thinking it is. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that down some. Not a problem. Let's see here. We don't want to go too far back. Cut it right about here. Grab my cutters. Don't have to be perfect. It just has to be functional. There we go. We'll put the flat edge against the plug because the part I cut is not super flat. And like I said, this is more or less just an extra layer of protection on here. It's not completely necessary. Of course, none of this is necessary. I could have just repinned it if I had everything I needed to repin it. Digital Dragon, what's going on? Heat gun keeps you from burning your fingertips. Yes, it does. Or your fingers. Yes, it does, Digital Dragon. There's a heat gun in my office somewhere. If I knew where the heck it was, I wouldn't be doing this. But it works. And that's all that matters, man. It's for the greater good. Like I said, this printer is going to be getting donated to someone, anyone, low income. I think I might reach out to... again, we don't talk religion on here because I'm not really looking to go down that rabbit hole, but some youth groups and things like that, they are religious organizations that sponsor and back those things. So there is a church in my area that has a lot of like youth programs and things like that. I don't necessarily know. I haven't 100%. I haven't even spoken with them about this yet, so I don't know that that's going to be where this first one will go. I may be reaching out to some locals to see if I can find a more deserving individual. And then I'm going to reach out to, again, youth groups, see if there's any youth groups that maybe wanted to start a STEAM STEM style program within their facility. And get this to them, but I want to make sure that what I'm doing here is going to work. Therefore, like I said, it may go to someone who wants to get into the hobby. I haven't really found a specific person or organization yet. So, single wire, then just use the iron, but if it's building a complete harness. Oh yeah, if it was this is just these couple of wires here. So that's why I'm doing this, Digital Dragon. Just to, you know, give them some extra protection. What happened here, Digital Dragon, I don't know if you remember or were following along, but these 5 wires for the BL Touch had gotten pinched and the jacketing had gotten pulled away and it shorted out. And that was why Just Push Print thought this printer was dead. It wasn't dead. It was just that these wires were shorting out. And with these wires shorting out, it wouldn't start. So, thankfully, we don't have to do too much with this one to get it back up and functioning. So, that is pretty awesome. Right now, I'm just trying to give these an extra layer of protection since you know, again, the wires were just damaged on the outer, so they have a piece of heat shrink on each wire individually, and then I am also heat shrinking the entire group of 5 wires here. Just a little extra something. It's not really, you know, not really the greatest thing, but for what we're doing, it will work. I should have left all the wires loose, remembered what order they went in, and then put a smaller piece of heat shrink around all of this together. But where's the joy in that, right? There's nothing like just constantly moving a soldering iron back and forth across a piece of heat shrink for 10 minutes while talking to my friends to help kind of shrink it down to a much nicer amount of organization, right? Hope everyone's 4th of July was well for those who celebrate the 4th of July. For those who do not, I hope you had a great July 4th. You know, the 4th day of July, 2024 here. Me personally, I spent the day hanging out on Zolan's stream for a bit. Then my wife and the Munchkins, my youngest daughter, went to her mother's house. They did fireworks and had some friends over. My wife and the 2 oldest daughters went to my mother-in-law's. My sister-in-law and her husband and kids. And my in-laws did some fireworks. And because new puppies, 4th of July, their first year with fireworks, I stayed home and puppy sat. And it was quite fun. Me and the babies just watched Deadpool 1 and 2, watched Free Guy, and then after Free Guy, I don't remember what the 4th movie I watched was. You drank way too much, Zachary? Yeah, nice. Off Axis, brother, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, Marcel. I love how that rolls off the tongue. Well, Marcel. I am currently printing the fan duct for this printer. I found one on Thingiverse that I liked. I ordered a 4010 or a 4020 blower fan, or is a 4025, one or the other. It was either 4020 or 4025. I do not recall what the CR10S Pro V2, because Creality and their infinite wisdom just keep adding numbers, letters, and make it a Pro, make it a Plus, make it a, you know, I'm waiting for the Elites to come out, you know, like the K2 Elite, you know. I'm waiting for it. I know it'll happen one day. They'll start putting the word elite in there. And they won't spell it elite like the actual way. They'll do it like elite speak. Uh-oh. Microphone's dying. Give me a second. Back. Sorry about that, guys. I was sitting here and I just happened to look over and saw the light flashing red, which right here, you guys can see the blue now, but it was flashing red, which was an indicator that she's a dying. Steely Dan, Thomas, aka Llama. What's up, Llama? How you doing, good sir? Like the 80s turbo is the turbo this, turbo that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. JPP elite. So L33 or the 1337 Pro V9. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for that to happen. You know, where they, instead of using the word elite or elite, they use elite speak and do that. Quick dip in the cool pool. You bought yesterday? Nice. Nice. I hope you're enjoying that, Mr. Off Axis. Okay, so because this is metal and I did that, I need to move this down. There we go. Thankfully it's metal, so I was able to just bend it out of the way a little bit. And now that'll be down out of the way. And where all these wires are is tucked in nice and neat in this little shroud, so it shouldn't be in the way. Should be able to bring everything back. We'll plug this back in. And then we're going to make sure the BL Touch works after we did that. It should, but we'll make sure. I am noticing this side is not grabbing as well. I wonder if there's just something there I'm missing. It does look like it might be out a little bit more. Let's see. Is there something in there that is blocking me? Yes, there is. There we go. I heard it rocket out of there. Whatever it was, I heard it shoot out. Looks like there's a small piece of plastic or something that got in there. Yep, there we go. All better. See, the clips are now both biting down like they're supposed to. So, there we go. But this clip, for some reason, didn't want to cooperate. Why must you have, or must you like such good drinks? Well, Zachary, the other problem with liking good drinks is they usually tend to cost quite a bit more too. So, Tends to be a bit more of a costly problem as well. Let's move this out of the way. Let's spin this back now. I'm going to put it back this way. We'll let the big long ribbon cable flop over the side. We'll pick the fan up and set it on top here so that it moves with the print head. And we'll make sure everything is working. So let's power this back up. We'll go kind of high here. Bring you guys back up a little bit so you can see the build plate. And it went click, 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 click. There's that awesome, like 80s video game or like 90s video game or early 2000s video game sound. Let's go into settings, move, home. Okay. Coming over, touching, going back, touching, come out, and let's see. Goes up, probe is out, light is off, comes down, and there we go. Touches, goes back up, comes back, coming down real slow, touches, goes back up. All right, wires are, buttoned up. Everything looks good there. It is homing. We are print. Let me come over here and sneak a peek real quick. You guys can't see it, sorry. It's looking pretty good, I must say. For my dialed, not dialed in profile, it's looking quite good. So let's go ahead and pull this cover off of this fan because we already know we got to take this off. Let me see here. What do we got going on? I feel like 3D printing costs as much more than drinking costs. Yeah, I can understand that. Your friend bought you a bottle, make mixed drinks, so you rarely buy. Oh, must be nice. I'm not a drinker. The last drink I had was with Mr. Aaron at Rocky Mountain. He bought me a drink, so of course I had to drink it because, it would be rude of me not to. All right, let's just cut this away. We already know that I have another fan if I need it. So there we go. Oh, there's 3 of them. There's one on the top here too. So let's cut that one away. There we go. And then of course the last one will just come loose. And we're going to trim those little clips off so it's flat. Because there are screws that hold everything together. So there will be screws there. So there, the fan is prepped and ready. As soon as that part is done, I should be able just to slide it over. And then all this will be hidden in there. And then we can take this guy, 3 screws, and mount it up right here on the side. And then that new shroud will go under, and it has one fan facing the front facing back and one on the back facing front. So the 2 fans will blow against the part. So that'll be help. Yes, Aaron bought it. I was required. But for those who know me, I don't drink often, but I do drink from time to time. A drink. Because might as well come over here and sit down. But I do drink from time to time. A drink is all I usually have, just because I don't care to drink. Nothing against those who do, but it's not a me thing. But that being said, that doesn't mean next time you see me at an event, buy me a drink. Don't do that. Don't buy yourself an extra one. The 2 ducts. Yes, the 2 ducts. It's one in the front, one in the back. It's a split duct, so 1 fan in, and then it just kind of comes out and around the head. 1 on the front, 1 on the back, blowing in on the part. So that'll help with part cooling. So hopefully, we'll find out. But yeah, so once that duct is done, I'll get some screws. We'll get it mounted up, and yeah, we'll load the base. I think I loaded the base profile already in Orcheslicer. Let me move the stream back over here. Whoops. Put the stream back over here. Let's load a new instance of Orcheslicer. And let's see if I put the V2 in there already. Oop, there we go. Oh yeah, yeah. Zachary, this stream, what I do, I have a simple. I'm taking my KB3D hat off, guys, just because my head is like sweating, and I really don't want sweat stains in the hat because I really like it. Um, but I have a rule here. My house, my rules. Your house, your rules. I'm not gonna force or push anything on anyone, and I just ask the same in return. You know. So I do have to add the printer in. Let's go to the right screen here. Um, in order to add one in, you got to click up here on the printer once you have it started. So I'm waiting for it to load. Oh, Zachary, I did not look yet. I'm sorry, good sir. Give me just a minute. I will take a peek. Uh, but yeah, let me look at CR and let's find the CR10 real quick here. Let's get this thing added in. Hopefully there's one in here. There is not. Really? So of all the things they have, they don't have a CR10? Oh, here we go. CR6, CR10 Max, CR10 SE, CR10 V2, but no Pro. So of all the Creality stuff, they don't have the CR10 Pro, huh? So I guess we'll start with the V2. So we'll grab a CR10 V2 profile because it is the V2 Pro. So we'll grab that with a four nozzle to confirm. This will give us a base to start from. The first print when we start will be a kind of a calibration and whatnot. For the most part, the strength, I do like 3, 3, and 3 as a kind of like a base. I don't know. Everybody has their own way, and I'm not going to tell anybody what's right or wrong. I mean, it is. You have the CR10 V2 Pro on yours? Let me go look again. I'll just look in Creality this time. Bamboo, construct. Okay, here we go. So we have CR10 V2, not Pro, CR10 Max, CR10 SE, CR6, CR6, CR Ender, 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 Ender 5s now, Ender 5s, Ender 6, Sir Moon, K1, K1C, and K1 Max. So I do not have one, which is fine. We'll build off of what's in Orca Slicer. We'll build off of this. But give me a minute. I'm gonna come back to this camera for a second. You guys can kind of see behind me, but I want to take a peek. Let me look in Discord real quick because I know some stuff's blown up in Discord. Aaron posted a picture. Oh, dude, I love the that. Can I show it? If I can show it, I will. Let me move this over here real quick. Actually, open in browser. There we go. If I can show it more than that, because they can't really see it. So if you're okay with it, Aaron, I'll actually bring it up full screen for everyone to see your Rook 2020 modifications. Like I said, I don't want to show too much. Like there, they can't really tell. They can make out some colors. That's about it. Show it. All right. So for anybody who knows the Rook 2020, you know that these pieces here, especially like on the ends, are squared off, and he put some chamfering or beveled some edges. Looks like he beveled the edges around on the carriage as well as the motor mounts. And this is the V2, so you have your extra set of pulleys in the back here to help route the belts and have all your belt path and everything around the rear. So that looks pretty cool. And then I like how you kind of beveled the corners on the bottom as well. And then you've got a plate on the rear there too, which is pretty sweet. I've got the base plate. I didn't do a back plate on it because that's where I mounted the power supply. So, but I do like it, and I do think that you need to share the files as a remix. Or if you want to send me the files, I'll print them, and then I can put it on the other one that I need to do. So if you want to share the files with me, feel free. Let me bring up Discord here again, and I'm going to move this back. Click here. I don't think everybody wants to read our conversation about all the you know, the dirty things, which really was the room number, which is no longer the room number, and the fact that you were heading to the embassy. So I think we're good. You know, you told me you made it home safe and sound, which I would hope so, because you messaged me already. So, but there we go. All right, let's minimize that. You got rid of the got rid of a couple of the Rook logos. Yeah, there was a lot of Rook logos. They put Rook everywhere, which I love the Rook logo, but it doesn't need to be everywhere, you know. Like even on the corner pieces down here, if you know which ones are your fronts, just put them on the fronts. You don't necessarily need them on both sides, but you know, it's pretty sweet setup, man. I do like it, and I would definitely enjoy printing the files and making one myself. So feel free when you're ready to send it my way, you know. Yeah, like I said, I love when you add that little extra touch on the corners. You know, I get that for quick functionality, uh, slap it out there. You know, make them blocky and get it done. But I like the little extra. Let's see if I can make my forehead bleed, because right here, I had like a little zit or something, and I scratched it earlier and it got mad at me. We are nearing the top of the fan duct. The cover for the fan. So we're nearing the top back there. You can see we're getting there. Let me close that now. Let me close this for a minute. We're at 88%. It says 640. It should be done. So about 4 more minutes. It's on layer. Wow, that was quick. It went from layer 149 to 148 to 248 to 250. Now it went 251, 253. It keeps jumping in layers, but the only reason you left on both sides and the front is because the same part can be used on both sides. Yes, it can. You only have Matter Hackers lime green. Hey, dude, it's all good. Yeah, that'd be fine, man. I mean, it's good. That was just one of the colors that he had available. He used. The lime green will be brighter. This green, it turned out really nice with this green. This is a little bit of a, just like a regular, I want to say it's just the Polymaker green, because I know he does a lot of his prints in Polymaker. And where did you post it at, good sir? Did you post it up on Twitter? I'm gonna go look at X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I see I have 2 notifications. Neither one of them is you though, so I don't know, where did you post it? I'm gonna wait for a response. By the way, everybody go give Zachary a follow on X. Give me a minute, I'll grab his profile here real quick. Let me. It's weird because I got, oh, in Discord? You posted it in the Discord. Okay. Well, give me a second to go look in the Discord. Where did you post it in the Discord? Under general or show and tell? Oh, there it is, in general. Okay. Yeah. Oh, dude, I like it. Looks good. But yes, I do like it, good sir. If you'd like, I can show it. You know how that goes. Play a game of show and tell here. Let's go to the right screen and let's minimize this so I can see. But there it is. Martin, what's going on, Martin? How are you, good sir? But yes, I do like that, good sir. It looks really good. I say go for it. If you want to make me some, I'm not going to argue. It looks like you found my logo, or at least enough of my logo to make it happen. So that works for me. Look, there's my Twitter. There's my X, my Twitter. Reprint was nice enough to repost. Yeah, I guess that would be the proper way to put it, right? Repost. So, but again, It's good to see you guys. I do plan to start getting pictures and stuff posted for my members so you guys can kind of see stuff. I was actually intending on coming home and taking pictures, but by the time we got home, got the puppies out, and I got out to the garage, I was at 5:04 when I started the stream. So, and like I said, we got about another hour left because, well, I'm gonna get the fan duct done here, and I'm gonna let it cool down some. So while we're at it, let's get back into Orca Slicer and kind of work on the, we're at 93% now, so but let me get back into the Orca Slicer for the V2 or the CR10S Pro V2. Yeah, so we'll work on this now. So let's go back in here. And again, we're going to start with our base profile. We are going to change this to the basic PLA to start with, because if we have to make any changes, we want to make them for a new profile for the filament. And what I mean by that is if we have to make any changes when we get to the pressure advance and any of our flow rate stuff. So changing any of our flow rate numbers. So like right here, our flow ratio, we're currently at 0.98. And then when we put in pressure advance, these numbers here are usually some of the calibrations I run. So. Well, Zachary, I'm glad you have a background in advertising and marketing. Anytime you want to help me, like if you want to revamp anything with my Maker My Nexus stuff, you feel free. Just, obviously, if you want to do that. You don't have to. No, I'm poor, so I can't afford to pay you. So if in your time you're bored and you want to work on my stuff, like logos, banners, things like that, you feel free. I will not complain one bit, and I will get you access to the SVGs and all of that for the Maker My Nexus stuff, so you'll have that. I in no way, shape, or form can afford to pay you, but I will not in any way, shape, or form complain if you feel free to do stuff. Worst case scenario, you think it looks good, I don't, I just don't use it, just because I don't like the way it looks. But at the same time, then you give me reasons to post polls, because again, it's not about what I like when it comes to the logo, it's about what everybody else likes and what they want to use. However, I have a thought. I have a thought. So because you guys, a lot of you guys know me and you know how I am, I have a thought for the channel when it comes to the 3D printing rehab, or the 3D printer rehab. How about this for a kind of like a slogan, catchphrase, whatever? Making old 3D printers gooder. What do you think? Like making old 3D printers gooder? Better is the word that everyone would use, but gooder is that thing that catches everybody. They're like, ugh, he said gooder, but you know. So I said, making old 3D printers gooder, or making old 3D printers work gooder, something like that, Nice, Shane. You only charge for printer restoration or for photo restorations. Nice. Hey, don't feel like you have to, bud. Don't feel like you have to. It's just one of those things. Like if you're sitting there one night and you're bored, feel free. Like I'm not asking you to make time. You do your thing, and when you are ready, you let me know. Let me check my phone real quick. Something went bling bling, and I just got to make sure. Oh, it's just my printer. It was just um, Mobile Raker telling me the print is done. Okay, that was earlier. And I guess just so you guys do know, I gotta say the usual things too, because I wouldn't be YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber, but I wouldn't be a YouTuber if I didn't do it. Making older 3D printers gooder. That works too, yeah. I'm digging that. So there you go. That could be like kind of like the catchphrase, the slogan of what we do here is we make older 3D printers gooder. Works. There you go. So Ron, thank you for that, sir. That works. And Zachary, if you want to work that into something when you're bored and playing, see what you think.
But yeah, the print is done. I'm going to give it a few minutes to kind of temp down a little bit. ASA is not as bad as ABS, but it is still finicky. So I'm going to give it a little bit to kind of temp down in the chamber, and then I'll pop that out of there, and then we'll grab some screws and mount that bad boy up and see how it does. We'll make sure that it clears everything it needs to clear and that it's not in the way of the nozzle when we print. It was meant for the CR10, so it should work. Start your maker chip test now. Dude, Zachary, thank you, brother. Awesome. Awesome. Zachary doesn't live too far, so maybe one of these days I can do a drive over, like meet halfway and have some lunch and just BS, man. Who knows? Maybe we, maybe. I'll just keep saying maybe, because you never know. You never know what the next day will bring. I do know that Murph, I was very kind of like skittish for a bit because the financial situation scared me, but I said yes. I'm glad I did. It was great to go and talk to people and have conversations, and it was good to catch up with the Micro Swiss guys, talking to Nicor at Polymaker about this project, about doing this stuff. Like I was saying before, I kind of abruptly ADHD'd away from it. I did hear back from Sean on this, and he said it is definitely something that they're interested in. We just have to work out the details on how we're going to do the filament. Is it going to be one of those send it to me and then I'll give it with the printer, which I think is going to be the easiest way, because then I'll have the filament in hand to say, here's your printer, here's a couple spools of filament, and then here's the link to my GitHub where you can pull in all of the profiles for your printer that I've created for OrcaSlicer, and then I can include the link to OrcaSlicer so they know where to go to download it. And then their profiles that I created in OrcaSlicer here will be up there for them. In the case of this guy, I'll create a PLA one. I've got some older PETG back there that I can throw in the dryer, get it dried, and then we can do some test prints with PETG too. The whole process of getting the printer working and then setting up OrcaSlicer and doing the test prints is all stuff I want to do during streams. Whether the test prints I wait till the end till they finish or not will be based on how long they take and where we're at in the stream. Maybe just posting some pictures afterwards to Twitter, X, whatever, the socials, maybe Instagram, post some pictures around just so you guys can see, and then post them up in the community tab as well, so you guys can kind of see the calibration models and how they turned out. So that stuff is the kind of the hope going forward, May very well do that. May very well take you up on that, Zachary. Hey, Aaron, brother, thank you for coming and hanging out. Thanks for sharing the mods you've made to the 2020 Rook. It looks awesome. If you do want to share the files, or if you're ready to share the files, let me know, because I do have to finish building a second Rook. I need to get, I'll have to double check my bearing stash and see what I have. I know hardware-wise, I have a lot of hardware. I would love to see if I could get Fadus to send me another Next G. I do love that, and that's what's currently on this guy, but realistically I may pull the Next G out of this and put it on the other one, so that very well could be something that happens. But yeah, if you want to share the files, feel free to do so, brother. I will definitely print them, but I know you want to get yours done first, so please, don't rush them to me. Get yours done, make sure you're happy with what you see, and then when you're ready, send them my way, and I can be guinea pig number 2 for you. And I do like the fact that you are doing the Mark II, so that'll definitely be an incentive for me to make it a Mark II straight out the gate, and I won't complain. And it'll look really sweet on this frame I have hiding under my desk that some people know about and some don't. What's the main difference between the Rook and the Panda? The Rook is a smaller build volume, and the Panda is, what was the Panda built off of? Trident? I think the Panda was similar to a Trident, if I remember right. I could be wrong on that, but I think that was kind of the Rook is more of like a V0 a more affordable version of a V0, and then the Panda is more of a, it's not the Panda anymore. I forget what he named it now, but the Panda was more of a affordable Trident. So that's kind of the juggle there. That's kind of what they had going on. But let me see here where this print is at now. It doesn't look ugly. I did print it with a brim on it, so I do have to clean that up. But there we go. So let's get this off of here. I'll run the deburr around the edge here and kind of clean that up some more. And then we'll mount it up. 1 hour, 20 minutes to see how the test print for the maker chip. Dude, brother, thank you. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Yeah. This didn't turn out terrible. There we go. Deburring tool. Let's see. Just looking. I know the blade was getting a little rough, so we'll just go slow and take our time here. Got to remember, guys, when using the deburring tool, you don't have to yank real hard. Just put it in there and pull across. If it doesn't smooth out on the first pull, run it a second pass. If you'll do a third, do a third. Don't try to cut it clean in the first print, or in the first pull, because you'll just gouge the hell out of the print and make it look way worse. So there we go. And then, of course, because I printed it with a brim, it got down inside where the little ducts are here. So, gotta clean those out a little bit. I have to take my nippers, I think, and nip in there a little bit. You're designed for multiple makers since your collected personality, or like a collection personality where you like collecting. Nice. Hey, my thing with this hobby and with this community has been the fact that everybody, like I've said it from the beginning, which is community supports community. You know, I can't stress that enough. That's something I've been saying for a long time, and it holds pretty true here in this community. There's a lot of people that love to support one another and help each other. And I think that was part of the reason, like, there's many reasons why I wanted to do this, where I rebuild old printers. Uh, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, watching a lot of the other YouTubers in the past working on things and doing stuff, and watching like the kindness that's been given to me by a lot of people. Tripod's probably one of the biggest supporters of me when it came to giving me his old review units. I've gotten a lot of Tripod's old review printers that he has gotten over the years. He gets them, reviews them, they sit for a while, and then I take a road trip up to see him. And I come home, and usually it's like, come up for this printer, and then I come home with a printer and a laser and, you know, some other stuff. So, all right. So, like I said, I mean, Tripod's been probably one of the biggest ones. But I know Stephen Poole sent me some stuff in the past. John Strand sent me some stuff.
John Strand's a good dude. Um, brother Joel. Let me go back to this guy now. But Joel has helped me out in many ways. Some people, have their views on everyone. So not everyone thinks everyone's a good person. But I feel as though there are just some people that you can or cannot make happy depending on how you do or do not handle certain situations. So, okay. Well, that all lines up. It does line up. It's a little off in spots, but it is down inside the duct. I do think, yeah. Okay. Let's get this back in there right. Okay. Well, it does seem to be pretty good. And then let's move the wire up out of the way. And let's just see. All right. And it looks to be it just clears the nozzle. So I hope it'll work. We're going to put some screws in and see how it does. We got to find some screws. There were screws that came in the pack, but I think they might be a bit long. I have M3 by 20s here real quick. Let's take a look. M3 by 20, probably too long. Let's do M3 by 18s. M3 by 18s. There we go. Probably a little better. Let's see if we can get them in. And then, there we go. There's one. We'll push these through first. M3 by 18s will barely stick through. By barely, I mean I could probably do M3 by 16s, not 18s. But, there we go. Get that one in there, that one lined up there, and that one there. There we go. Let's get the right bit here. Get this guy. There we go. I got my head in the way. Sorry, guys. Hope my baldness didn't blind anyone. Okay. Let's get that in the old driver there. I do apologize. Can't really see very well at the moment. I should tip this thing up on its side, but I'm kind of not wanting to. Okay. There we go. Let me look under here again. All right. Looks like it's going to be a close one. I may have to reprint this or find a different one. Let's see here. Let's home it real quick. Let's see if it has an issue. It may. Okay, well, the duct is clearing so far. Let's move that Z down. Z-axis is at 13.7. Now we're going to go down to 3.7. And then we'll move it down by ones. Okay, the duct is touching in the front, this front corner is touching. However, from the looks of it, it does kind of look as though the bed is off. So we might as well re-level the bed. Whoops. Let's go to home first. Make sure nothing is scraping. Okay, I'm probably going to reprint this. But, there we go. Get it homed. Now let's go back. Let's go into leveling. We're going to let it level on a cold bed. Just so I can see, hopefully in the height map, you know, which side is high, which side is low. Because we don't have a, like we do in Clipper, where we can do the lead screw adjust and then go to the four corners and then it'll tell us which one's off where. So yeah, we don't have that on here. There we go. Well, auto level. Here we go, though. We can do this. Let's measure this corner. Well, it's measuring away now, so we'll let it go. It is measuring away. I thought it was just going to let me pick where I wanted to measure and then go there, but it is not. But at least that'll be nice, because then in the map we can kind of take a look and see. Want to help influence the next generation of makers and help people grow. The world needs more helping hands. Yeah, that's where I'm at, Zachary. That's kind of why I want to get printers into the hands of more people. So I figure if I can take people's old crap that's just sitting around and breathe some kind of new life into it, whether it be rebuilding them and giving them to people who can't afford to get into 3D printing but would love to, hopefully that will inspire them to find models, print models, sell models, and buy better product or better printers to keep going, or maybe even just help them offset some income so that they can maybe make a little bit better living. I wish I wish my ADHD wasn't you're a great muse, but you suck doing it for yourself kind of thing. So I'm hoping that this, doing it, streaming it, and it'll help keep me focused to keep it going, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm hoping that this will keep me going to get printers in people's hands. Maybe people along the way will want to support me, sponsor me, help me out. I'll be greatly appreciative. But I'm gonna harness my ADHD, and you guys are helping. So thank you. There are some that have had opinions that have changed over time. Very true. Yes. There are people in the community that saw one thing and then it turned into another. It does happen. And to those, they're going the path that they see works best for them. Do I agree with it? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, there's definitely a height difference in this map. We're at negative 0.539 here, and we're at 174 over here. So we are quite high on this side. So let's bring this one down. This back corner is real low, so hopefully dropping this front corner should bring that up. So now let's measure again. And let's just see now as it goes down how much better it looks across the front of that duct. Okay, it's looking a lot better. It's not as good. It still looks a little like it's riding a little bit off there, but it's okay. I think when I printed this, I should have sized it up by about 1%. ASA does have a little shrinkage issue, so I should have probably oversized it by like 1%. But let me see. Oh yeah, because that fan. Oh, that's right. I forgot it's got that duct over it, so I can't spin the fan manually. I'm thinking I got to spin the fan, and it's not wanting to spin. No, I need to turn the fan on though and make sure that it does clear inside, and it will spin. So I still need to do that too. Oh, video small. Yeah, it looks like the duct may be sitting a little low for the nozzle, but we're gonna find out. So I'm not gonna say anything just yet. I'm gonna get speaking of, do I have M5 T-nuts? Regular T-nuts. These M4s? Nope, M5s. Good. I got two M5 T-nuts right here. Let's find some M5 by 8s. There we go. A couple M5 by 8s. And then I have a spool holder. Here it is. I have a spool holder for right now, JPP, that I'm going to throw on here. It's this guy right here, the old school Creality one. You know, the one that Creality threw on everything, except for I 3D printed this guy with bearings in it. So we're going to throw this up on top for now. We're going to check the map here in a second. It's almost done. But I need a spool holder on this thing, and this is what I have available, and that's kind of the point of these builds, is to work with what I've got available. So since it's what I've got available, it's what we're going to use. Let's see, is that going to be big enough? Nope. Okay. Got to go to a bigger one. Okay. Now we are at negative 0.9 and positive 0.772 here. Negative 157 in the back and negative 0.332. So okay, that one's down. Okay, there we go. We have a spool holder on it. Let's grab a spool of filament because we're going to try and push some plastic tonight. Let's do the old Pezriwinkle because I got Pezriwinkle right here. So it's a pretty color. Let's throw some Pezriwinkle up here. That bearings, those bearings make that thing spin real well. Definitely not going to be an issue there except for spooling out too hard probably. Okay. Filaments in there. Open that up. Get that down as far as we can. Okay. There. We got filament loaded, guys. Filament is loaded. I don't have a print ready to go, but we're going to. Well, thank you, Zachary. You understand the struggles of ADHD? Yeah. It's one of those things, man. You're just saying you'd recommend putting the spool holder on top instead of on the side, vertical extrusion. Yeah. Yep. Do I adjust the bed spring or bed screws first? That's what I'm doing. I'm adjusting the bed screws and kind of seeing how it turns out. So right now, this side is down to, again, negative 0.932. This side is positive 722. So we're going to go a little lower here. And then this back corner, we're going to lift up some. So there. That's got a little weebly wobbly in it. That's one of those things we'll adjust after the fact because that bed is so damn large anyway that it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But my goal right now is I'm trying to get the four corners as close as I can. So all I'm looking at on that map, when it shows me all the points, my goal is to get those four outsides as close as I can because realistically I should probably be looking at maybe one more in, but I'm looking at the four outsides. So those four outside numbers, I'm trying to get them as close as I can because that will help me get, the basic, four corner, a four corner number, try to get that, at least the outer edges as close as I can get them. So that's what I'm working on. make a time lapse of a batch print. And send it to you. Oh, dude, thank you. Yeah, yeah. I like I said, the QR. What you pointed to? Did you point it to the link tree or to the YouTube, or is it just like what did you do with the QR? Just so I know. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm working on. You guys can't really tell. You can't really see it because the reflection is terrible. Well, here, let me take you guys on a little trip in my favorite rocket ship. Zooming through the skies, little line signs. There we go. And then let's, oh no, go the other way. There we go. Bring the exposure down and refocus it again. There you go. Now when it's done, you guys will be able to see the numbers. Linktree? Thank you, sir. That works great, Zachary. Then that way it means anybody who goes there can go to the Linktree and see pretty much everything. Rocket Man! Yes. Zooming through the skies. Little line signs. So climb aboard. Get ready. Anyway. See, so like right now we're at a negative 7.69 here. We're at a positive 565 here. We're at a negative 172 in the back corner here, and we're at a negative. So this negative number is kind of like our base here. So this one we want to come down again a little bit more. So we're gonna, tighten that one down a bit. And this back corner we're gonna raise up again. So let's see here, up. And then this back corner, for right now, I'm going to run it. So basically, I'm just going round and around, measuring, and then getting these 4 numbers to try and get that bed tilt as close as I can. So run it again. Tripod, good to see you, sir. Hope you're staying out of trouble, staying out of jail. By the way, I was paying praise to Sir Tripod earlier about how you're one of the few people who has supported my insanity, my craziness, and everything for quite a while, because you've given me quite a few of your review printers throughout the years, and I have given those away to others after I've gotten done playing with them myself. So thank you, good sir. We're talking about the project here and what's been going on. So right now the hope is in about the next 15 minutes I can get this bed adjusted. And then we're going to run our base, start our calibration prints on here, and see how they do. Let's see how we going to be using some Polymaker. And again, to those who are coming in late, I did hear back from Polymaker. We got to hammer out the details on how we're going to get the filament, whether it's going to come to me, and then I'll just give the filament with the printer, which, like I said, would probably be the easiest. And then there may be something else from Polymaker coming on the streams here in the future. So I gotta talk with Sean on that. So there may be something else coming up going forward. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out what I'm talking about. If you've seen any other streams where Polymaker's been involved, you already know what I'm talking about. But I gotta see what they say. Currently, I want to keep the streams to YouTube only. It sounds like in the conversation that was had, they're looking at Twitch, YouTube, not just YouTube, but I'm pretty adamant about I want to stay on YouTube. Nothing against Twitch. Twitch will be great for other stuff. Maybe in the future we'll do the Maker Hangouts there, like if I do, you know, my like I used to call them back in the day, the STSs or Shoot the Shits, where makers just kind of come together, we hang out and we just chat. Maybe I'll bring those to Twitch, and that's where everybody can come and hang out on Twitch. We'll do streams there. But for YouTube, I want to do this more or less for the VOD, the ability for people to come back and watch this stuff later to see how their printer evolved. If they want to know, like, this printer was given to me by Maker by Nexus, the group, and it was a community thing. They'll be able to come here and see me paying praise to Just Push Print for donating this printer. and they'll be able to know kind of where the printer came from, what steps I took to rebuild that printer, and then they can even watch me going through, because again, I want to go through the calibration and setting up the slicer and stuff like that, which I kind of cheated here tonight. We just used a standard CR10S 2 profile since they don't have a Pro, and see that it's not really that hard to work a profile to fit your printer. Well, Zachary, that's kind of the hope, is we start doing, like, I start doing this here. I'm having fun on YouTube doing this, and this is going to be a longevity thing, because until YouTube falls off the face of the earth, these videos should exist, or until I do something that gets my channel compromised and YouTube takes my channel away. So as long as I don't do anything stupid on here and I keep to rebuilding printers, I should be safe. I mean, I'm not, like, again, the channel's marked as not for children, so if I say, you know, shit, I'm not offending a child, because there shouldn't be a child here. And if there is a child here, you shouldn't be, because I have the channel set for 18 and over, which does kill my monetization, because not a lot of channels want to monetize to channels that are 18 and over only. But I don't care. I'd rather do these streams my way, have fun, and, you know, for those who are getting these things can enjoy them and maybe fall back to these videos to watch. If they are, you know, younger children, well, their parents can see how I went through the process and what I had to go through. So the overhead cam is being a bit glitchy occasionally. Yeah, I noticed that. I did see it kind of glitch out, but let's see our numbers now. Let me go back to this guy right here. There we go. The new numbers: -6 or 689. We're still a little high on this corner. This corner has come up quite a bit, so it's better. This corner still needs to go down a little bit, so this corner needs to go down more, and that one needs to come down a little bit. So again, let's take this one down. 4 turns there, and then we'll go up, or we'll go down. What? 1, 2 turns there. Let's just see how that does. Measure again. And again, I am measuring this cold bed. I know I should be doing this hot. My preference is to level the bed while it's hot, for the simple fact that when it heats up, that's when you start to get the tacoing and stuff like that, because these beds are so thin. But to get a good base to start off of, that's what I'm doing. You're a child at heart. Zachary, I think we're all children at heart. My body tells me all the time I'm an idiot, because my body thinks that I'm something else, you know? Just realize what it does every time you hit the vape. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of JPP, I don't know which one your wife has this time, but this one's Berry Bliss. So, not that I'm promoting it. I'm not promoting it. I'm not telling you to do it. It is dumb. It is stupid to vape, and that's across the board. Don't do it. But if you are doing it, Berry Bliss is a pretty good flavor. Could be. I don't know. It's weird. Makes me wonder now. But we are at point number 12 on the bed. Now we're on to 13. Actually, it just passed 13, so it's on to 14 now. But there we go. And looking at it, the nozzle is looking like it is a little bit close there. So we're going to try and push some plastic. Like I said, I'm probably going to have to reprint that and cross my fingers. If nothing else, I'll find a different one. That was the first one we saw. If I find a different one, I'll print it off camera and I'll post some pictures up for the members and whatever. Wherever I put it. But it does, when it comes down now, it is looking like everything is a lot better. That back end is not touching almost when the probe comes down, so it is looking like it's more leveled out. We'll see how them numbers look here in a second. It didn't flicker that time. Yeah. All right, so there we go. We're at -8 in the corner, -5, -3, and a -4. So this corner is now the lowest corner. So we'll bring this corner up a little bit. There we go. And we'll let it run. If they're all roughly in the same general area, that's a good, I think, good base to start with. But we'll let it run again. And then after this, we'll heat everything up, and we'll lift the nozzle up a little bit. We'll put some plastic into it, and while we're doing that, while it's doing its thing, let's go back to this screen. For right now, let's close that. We're going to come up here to calibration, and we're going to do, first thing we're going to do is a flow test. We're going to transfer those new settings, because why not? Transfer. There we go. Now, there's our 9 plates. We'll hit slice. And there we go. Now we got to get an SD card to put in this bad boy so that we can print with it, because it does use SD. So let's find an SD card. I'm running low on SD cards. If anybody has a surplus of SD cards and you want to send them my way, hit me up. I'll give you an email address to send them to. Let's see here. Okay. There we go. Let's plug this in. That's probably got a Linux OS on it for a Pi of some sort. So let's take a peek. Scroll down. It did not pop up, so yeah, I'm guessing it's probably a Linux OS. Go figure. All right, let's go to a different SD card then. What's that one? 128 meg. Perfect. 128 meg card. You can email physical objects now? Sure, email them to me. All right, so there, the G drive showed up that time. That's got an old file on it, so we'll delete that now. There we go. Let's see, we want to, export the G code. G drive, flow rate 1 hour, 5 minutes, it says. There it is, and we can eject that now. There we go. Ejectocito, cuz. Pull that out, pull that out. Let's switch back to the bench cam. There we go. Where are we at? -7, -5, -4, -4. So we're going to take this up just a turn and a half, or not even a full turn, like a half turn, quarter turn. Plug SD card in. Let's go back, go back. Now let's actually go into settings, move. Let's take Z up. It's on 10. We're going to go up a couple. Now let's go back here. Let's go to refuel. Oh, whoops. First we got to get our temp up. So let's go back, temp, automatic, PLA, 195 and 45 on the bill plate. That sounds about what it would do. Now we'll go back again. And let's go into settings, refuel, and move you guys up here a little bit. Get you right up under there. And then let's bring up our exposure a little bit. There you go. So you can kind of see that the nozzle is just peeking under that. Let me grab my ruler here. Grab the metal ruler. And it does it is barely protruding. Not a lot, but it is protruding. So let's go ahead and feed. We're almost up to temp. It's yelling at me that it's not up to temp yet. There it goes. Okay. Waiting to see if we got plastic coming out. I only did 10 millimeters, so there it goes. Can you guys see that coming out the bottom? Here. It didn't come out too far. So let's do 20. It's like cell phone from back in the day there. There it goes. When we start seeing the periwinkle coming out, there it goes. Now you can see the purple periwinkle a little bit. So we know we're getting the right color now. Let's see. Yep, it's done moving, so there you go. We got periwinkle out of it. There's the white. There's the periwinkle. Let's get that out the way. I dropped you. Okay, now let's move you back. Let's get this out the way. And let's throw a print at it and see what happens, shall we? Print. Flow rate test print. Here we go. All right. Cross our fingers, guys. Let's cross our fingers that I'm going to have to adjust the Z offset. I already know that because I didn't do that. So the first print, we may have to stop and restart. Let me get ready on that anyway, just because. Let's see here. Yep, that part cooling fan is blowing air out. Let me find. Yeah, this paper is not showing it all too well, but it is clearing the fan. Everything is good there. So here it goes. I didn't tell it to, I didn't check the start G code to make sure that it's going to probe properly. So we'll see what happens. No, I didn't clean the bed off, JPP. I didn't. Why would I clean the bed? This is a test print. We want to test all the craziness and see what happens. Let's see. Okay. All right. It is going to go ahead now and do its thing. The worst case scenario, I take the hot end apart and I move the heat break down a little bit more, and I can move the nozzle down a little bit more as well. So realistically, if I stick with this fan and it is an issue, then we can do that. Just cheat and twist the heat break down into the heat break or the heat block a little bit more, and then that'll give us a little bit more distance on the nozzle. So there's that option as well. But we're gonna see what happens here. I'm with you guys right now. I'm on the edge of my seat here. But yeah, we're going to let it ride on a dirty bed. Yes. Energy saving mode is off. Well, of course. I did just watch it blow some dust out of the way, so I do know that that's working pretty good. As it's moving across, it's blowing the dust off the bed. So that fan duct is working. Wish you had a bigger screen now. Oh, popcorn? Yeah. Put it on the bed and let it go. Self-cleaning. Yep. All right. Get that little bit out of there. Had a little bit of a booger forming. Look at that. It's already spitting filament. Wow, did it spit a lot of filament. What the hell? Ooh. Yeah. Look how close that fan duct is riding. Oh, that is so close. Let's see. Yeah, it's got to go a little bit lower. So it's going to adjust. And it's just picking it up and knocking it off right now. Oh, that fan duct is going to have to, we're going to have to adjust that nozzle down some, because that fan duct is just pulling the print off. And I can't get it to go any lower because it's just dragging. So yeah, we're going to have to adjust that heat break. That'll be a next stream thing, guys. So, sure, yes, I'm sure I want to stop the print. And I stopped the print, but yet you stayed where you were. That's not nice. Okay, let's go to move. Pull Z up a little bit. So yeah, we're going to have to adjust the heat break nozzle a little bit here. So we'll pull the heat break down a little bit, and then we will put the nozzle back in. That'll drop the nozzle a little bit lower. If anybody's got a different fan duct that they think I should attempt, please share it in the Discord. And yeah, I think if I stream this weekend, we'll probably, I don't know what this weekend will be. Like, today is Friday. It was supposed to be my yesterday stream, but the holiday changed that. So, but for right now, I'm going to let that cool down. I'm going to come back over here because we're at 7:30 Central Standard Time. So let me jump back to this camera here. There we go. So, high temp resin, interested in custom fan duct in resin. JPP, I have done some ABS like resins for fan ducts and it works just fine. Some ceramic based resins too, yeah. What about washer on the nozzle, small spacer? No, JPP, you don't want to do that. On this printer, the way this works, the way these Creality style printers work, you have your heat break, you have your nozzle. If you put a gap in there, you get this gap between the heat break and the nozzle, and that's where filament pools up, and then you run into issues with clogging constantly. You want to keep your heat break and your nozzle touching inside the heat block. So what we do is we take the screws loose that hold the heat break in the hot basically in the top part that cools. We take those two screws out and we drop that down a little bit, and that can actually drop the whole thing down. Or you can take that loose and twist it in, because it's threads, twist it in a few threads. That'll bring your heat break down more inside the heat block. And then when you screw your nozzle back in, they'll bump into each other with the nozzle being lower to the bed. So that is what we'll do. I will go in, I'll take that apart, we'll take the hot end apart, we'll drop the heat break down just a couple more turns into the heat block, and then we'll screw the nozzle back in from the bottom, pushing the nozzle down, and they'll meet up together inside the heat block, and the nozzle will sit a little lower. And we need to do that. It looks like it's basically almost right flush with that fan duct. So a couple of twists will bring it down, and then the nozzle will sit just a little below the fan duct. So some ceramic base rather than those. But yeah, so yeah, nozzle spacers. There are some like nozzle spacers that are like threaded that you can screw in, and then you put the nozzle in behind it, and that fills that gap and keeps everything kind of lined up. But the easiest way is just to, like I said, take the two screws that hold the heat break into the little cooling block. Take those two screws out, drop that down, and you can just tighten it, and that moves everything down just a little bit. Realistically, if they're butted up against each other inside there, that could be the route we go, because again, that heat break, this is a PTFE tube or PTFE line heat break, so that means the PTFE tube goes all the way down anyway. So by dropping it just that little bit, it won't hurt anything, so just taking those two set screws loose in the back, dropping it down, tightening the back up. And the nice part is, if I play my cards right, I know I really only have to move it, probably 2 millimeter, 3 millimeters, just to get that down below that, and it should be fine. And then the fan should still blow where it needs to, so we should be okay. Micro Swiss makes the good ones. Yeah. If I would have had this all set up and in time with Micro Swiss, I would have probably just swapped it out anyway for a Micro Swiss. But this was the first go around, first foray, and I kind of rushed into it. I could have left these printers just sitting, but I wanted to get the project going, and I wanted to get this printer out there. So that being said, guys, I got a daughter calling. I will talk to you guys all later. But yeah, so keep an eye on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I will keep you guys posted. If nothing else, next Tuesday, we'll continue on with this. If I do anything over the weekend with it, I will post it out there on the socials. So you guys, my usual, stay out of trouble, stay out of jail. Happy 3D printing. Thank you for coming and hanging out and all the things, all that fun stuff. But you guys are awesome. I thank you very much. Remember, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, all down below. If you want to do something silly, Venmo, feel free to send like the kissy face and the eggplant, and post it as public so everybody can see the kissy face eggplant. If you want to be silly, you can do that. But if not, don't worry about it. Buy some stuff. Shop.makermynexus.com. Good place to go. But I have another call coming in from the daughter. So I love your faces. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys. Bye.